What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck did I just watch? You are listening to What the Fuck Did I Just Watch? You can find us on Facebook and YouTube at WTF Did I Just Watch? Thanks for joining us, and here's our latest episode.
Hey, and we're back with a special mashup Christmas holiday special season show because, it's been a long time since you've seen our beautiful faces, and we decided to bring on some other beautiful faces to our wonderful show. So, as always, I got my co-host or my lead, however you want to put it, Jenny Morrow. And with us, we have Mike and Tom.
Hey,
all. Very special podcast.
So we thought it'd be fun for this Christmas to cram our podcast, the Bum's Corner Coast to Coast, into yours. Like that chocolate peanut butter mustard thing that you sometimes get.
The delicious
auditory train wreck.
Yeah. I thought we were being a big giant fruitcake.
That works too, yeah.
Because we're collectively a bunch of fruitcakes.
And
wow,
a very small audience that enjoys fruitcake. So I think that works for us.
Can of mixed nuts? I mean, it could be that too.
There you go. We did a wonderful mixed nuts episode. And unfortunately, guys, this is not it. We've got two movies that, one is apparently very popular and the other one is not. So with that said, our first wonderful, and I say wonderful very loosely, Werewolf Santa.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Werewolf Santa was my fault. I thought it's got to be fun, right? It's Werewolf Santa Claus. This should at least be entertaining crap.
It would write itself,
right?
If someone had a writer for it.
They fucked up making an orgy massacre funny. How do you make that not funny? They did it.
Right?
They made it not funny.
Yeah.
It was just odd. Awkward. It was like walking in your parents' orgy and waiting for them to be slaughtered, and when they were, you were just not satisfied with it.
It's not often you see, so many missed moments in an orgy massacre.
It's true.
Not
in an orgy massacre, yeah.
We're vastly jumping ahead, but I wanted you guys
very jumping ahead, but it's okay.
But so here's her premise. We have I believe, was it Lucy, who has her YouTube show, Monster Hunters, where she's going around the globe trying to get cryptids on tape, and then she decides to go back to her hometown because there's a werewolf stories around there. And you find out she's, of course, got a dysfunctional relationship and dysfunctional family relationship, and let's all cry for her. And she's out in the park with her sort of boyfriend, but not, who's filming them. And as they're out there, they see some guy get killed, and then they run back out further in the woods because they get lost, and they come across Santa's cardboard sleigh.
Santa!
Santa's taking a piss. Which, again, somehow should have been funny, and yet was not. It was just like, okay. And Santa gets mauled by a werewolf. And then, gets up first and is like, it's but a flesh wound, but it turns out he turns into a werewolf. And then they start pursuing Santa werewolf around the city, trying to stop him before he jumps down every chimney and slaughters and kills everybody in the town and the rest of the world because it's Santa. And none of it works. And
I tried to find a budget for this movie just because I thought,
think it matters.
I thought maybe, this is a low budget movie or crowdfunded, because somehow they got Joe Bob Briggs version of himself in this
voiceover, basically.
At the voiceover.
Yeah, which I thought was hilarious because I'm like,
he made bank on it.
Joe Bob's now like popular again, because of everything he's done for Shudder, and I don't think he really wanted to participate, even in the voiceover of this.
Well,
his voiceover sounded like he had a gun to his head.
Yeah,
I've never heard a more sad rendition of The Night Before Christmas.
Yeah, this was like a gambling debt payoff type voiceover.
That, or somebody saw him at a convention and said, "Hey, we'll pay you an extra $50 if you can read these lines really fast." And we
the
don't
thing,
care
he
if you
didn't
fuck
read them
up
fast.
because that's what happens.
He didn't read it fast. Like that was like the longest 10-minute rendition of the night. Like I don't recall it being this long. So,
No, there were extra chapters in there, I think.
I guess like the Canterbury Tales version.
I
The
mean,
Chaucer. Yeah.
this movie is 70 minutes long and felt like it was 3 hours. I felt
Yeah.
like I was watching Flower Moon or whatever the heck that Martin Scorsese, I don't know how to edit a movie, is because wow.
You get 20 minutes in and you're like, is this movie not over yet? And there's
Yeah,
so many points where it should have ended and it doesn't. And you're like, we could have ended it there. We really could have.
Yeah. So many opportunities to just wrap it up.
I
also
tried so
feel-
hard to love it, but it seemed like it was too many pieces put together. Like there was nobody with any testicular fortitude in the editing booth. Like everybody had their favorite scene and nobody was allowed to take anything out of it. So here we have a like a haunted house on Christmas Eve that's still up and running and functional. So that whole scene could have been taken out and logically should have been. Yet here we are watching them chase through a haunted house.
But
like
then
a
this
Christmas
movie was 40
village.
minutes long if you cut it out.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
No,
That would be great.
I agree, but then you can't call it a movie. It's a short film.
Yeah.
I don't know that you can call this a movie anyway. It's
I
just
mean,
short
I
film.
did in my weird, like, because weird headcanon stuff comes through my head when I watch different movies. And I felt like there was parts of this movie, and not just because there are British actors, but I felt like, are they trying to steal Shaun of the Dead in some of this movie? Like, there was some of the dialogue and some of the stuff that was going on. I'm like, this is almost like Shaun of the Dead, especially the scene when you have them all in the car and they're all kind of, the dialogue's kind of just flying all over everywhere.
see
And they're all
that.
talking all over themselves.
Yeah.
You know, like podcasts
Yeah.
that I do.
No, I definitely think they were pulling from Shaun of the Dead for sure, but it failed miserably. Terribly,
Yeah.
terribly, miserably.
Poorly executed.
Just nothing
Yeah.
worked out. And also, you don't give a shit about anybody. None of these characters
No.
are appealing on
Yeah,
anyone.
that's what I
You're
was
like,
gonna say. It's like I don't care. Like why don't they die first and let's have somebody actually compelling that we like, remember to bring the gun and take care of this.
Mm-hmm.
And-
Or
and
somebody
the
with a
big
light
giant
on their camera
spoiler.
so we can see what happens too. That'd be nice.
I would think it would have been a better ending if the bum that was about to die on top of the car just turned around and killed everybody. That would have
Yeah.
been. Just-
But
I
who
was
else
rooting for the
figured it
bum.
out before the movie ended of who the
Oh,
last
right
werewolf
away.
was? Right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Spoiler: the dad, who's also like what the chief of police, is the
chief
main
of police,
werewolf.
yeah.
oddly is American.
Yes,
Again, the whole
Exactly.
thing made no sense.
I think he was their big name actor, though. I think he's been in a lot of like TV or soap operas.
He did look familiar. You're right. He did look
Mhm.
familiar. Everyone else, you're right. I have no
Yeah.
idea who you are.
He
And-
guessed it on Boy Meets World.
There you
I
go.
mean, it's a great show. That's probably where I saw him. So, I mean, I met Topanga last weekend for the first time in my life. I was happy.
There you go.
Dude.
Yeah. At a
Oh.
con, I met Topanga, so I'm happy. And sadly enough, because I'm that weirdo, I accidentally called her Topanga. And she said, "Don't worry, it's okay. You're about the 100th person today." And I'm like, "Thank you."
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you look at a con, that's probably not the low point of her day by
Yeah.
any stretch.
Yeah,
Like you
I
didn't
mean-
offer obscene amounts of money to touch or kiss certain
Right,
parts
I
of her
didn't-
body. So
I didn't
think you're
say,
good.
"Hey, let's go to the airport" or anything weird like that. Or I
Get the
live in
box.
Columbus. You're in Columbus now. Let me take you out to dinner. No, that's nothing weird like that.
Have
You're
you
right,
never
I'll
seen the
not
trunk of a
offended by
Civic?
Yeah. I didn't try anything like that. No.
Well, though, back to the movie.
Back to the movie.
Because, yeah, not that the other conversation is much more interesting than the movie was, but however, here we are. Was it just me, or did the mom and the daughter look like they were the same age?
I
Mhm.
would say probably.
I mean, that was
Very
also my
similar.
other issue. I'm like, you couldn't get like, I don't know, age one of them up with makeup or some shit, something.
Right? Some baby powder in the hair, a little bit of gray.
I mean,
you know,
they
something.
they spent their budget on the special effects that was the Where Santa, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because
I
that was
guess.
the thing that got me, I think, that stuck out of all the myriad of horribleness is like, we don't have the budget to film this scene, so we'll just have the camera cut out.
Yeah.
Or we don't have the budget to film this scene, so we'll just write it on a card and put it up as a text, like in a silent film. Like, oh, here's what you would be seeing,
Right. If we
had
can
the
afford
money.
it.
I'm just gonna write it down so you can read what happened.
Well, and that's what also got me about it, because I'm like, what is happening that like all of this stuff is here's text, goes out of nowhere, and is this movie shot like found footage? No, but it is in parts that made no sense.
Yeah.
It was like, what's happening? Why are we moving this around the way we are?
The funny thing is, like with the jump cuts, with the camera goes out, it goes from one pointless scene, it just fizzes out to another equally pointless scene.
Right.
Like, I could see if they couldn't afford like the graphic death, and so it fits out, and then it comes back and it's just the entrails and the carcass. But no, it like they're pointless jumps in the filming, and I don't get. One of the things I don't get. One of the many things I don't get.
The only redeeming quality I found was I thought it was hilarious that the reindeer were completely devoured all the way down to the bone. That, for some reason, made me laugh. I was highly entertained by that fact.
On top of that, he devours those reindeer to the bone, and yet still returns to the sleigh and tries to take off. Because the memory of him being Santa is still there.
Yes, the muscle memory of goodness.
Tiny reindeer, not so much.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
So dumb. So dumb.
Yeah. So in conclusion, don't watch this movie.
No.
If you really, really hate yourself and you decide you must watch it anyway because you're intrigued about if it could really be this bad, like not even fun bad, just bad, go for a free version. If you have a library card, you can get it on Hoopla and not have to pay a dime.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Mike, I'm sorry we didn't tell you that.
I thought you knew, Mike. You're the one who put the screenshot up showing that it was on Hoopla.
I pay attention to like research. No,
Yeah, you can purchase this for $3.99 on Google, or $2.99 on Vudu.
Still don't.
Or watch it free on Hoopla.
Do that if you must.
And allow me to plug Hoopla. I know they're not sponsored by any shape, way, or form, but hey, kids, get a library card and you can get a free streaming app that gives you all the books you want, all the music you want, and weird ass movies like this if you want.
Mm-hmm.
So,
worth the price of admission.
It's worth it. It's free. And no commercials.
Nice.
Well, I think have we kicked this one enough? Because I
think it needs. It's done.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
So wonderful night.
Yeah. So I liked it. I thought it was fun.
I was not mad by this.
Great. I mean, after Werewolf Santa, anything's an improvement.
That's true. Yeah.
But I did enjoy It's a Wonderful Night, but I don't know. I wanted something more, and it just kind of something about it fell flat to me. Like it felt a lot more like a Hallmark movie than I liked.
I know your issue. And I can. It's 2 words.
The one issue? No.
Justin Long. He's a terrible fucking actor and shouldn't be in anything ever. Yet here he is. And I'll swear to God, I think he hunched over a couple times because of that heavy accent he was carrying around on his back the whole fucking movie.
Like, I thought of him as terrible, not good.
I will give you counterpoint.
Wait,
okay.
I will give you counterpoint since we're gonna do this.
Sorry,
I enjoy Justin Long as an actor, and I feel like I was actually excited for this role because I feel like since I think whether it was February or January of last year when they released Barbarian, that he was in.
Yeah,
it's a great but creepy, weird ass horror movie.
Creepy as hell.
Yeah, it's really enjoyable. But anyways, he has done this year, like if you look at his IMDb, with the exception of Clerks 3, which he has a very tiny role in, he's done horror this whole year.
Mhm.
That's pretty much what he's done. And that he decided, I'm going to be the horror guy. So much so that in Disney Plus, he's doing the Goosebumps. And he's the lead in that. And
Huh.
he's really good in that
Okay.
too. But this movie, I don't know what he was deciding. Hey, it's the end of the year. I'm smoking a pipe. And I'm going to enjoy this pipe. And I'm going to have fun chewing up scenery, literally with the weird veneers or whatever the heck was wrong with his teeth.
And the bad
Yeah.
spray tan. Let's not forget the
Oh, I forgot. Yes,
horrible-
and the bad
horrible-
bad
Epic.
spray.
Epic.
I mean, I had so much hopes for this movie, so much so that like when I saw the trailer, I put it on Facebook. I told other people, "Hey, this looks great, doesn't it?" Because it sold me a horror comedy. It's the same writer of the movie Freaky, which I thought was absolutely hilarious because it was a horror Freaky Friday movie, which again, great premise. And this was supposed to be It's a Wonderful Life, sort of.
Right.
And again, as it has all the ticks of movies that Jean Paul enjoys. A Scream movie because it's a whodunit, a comedy, cheesy horror, Canadian actresses that I enjoy. It ticked it, it did it, and it failed miserably.
Really?
It did. I was so disappointed because I thought this was going to be funny. I laughed a couple of times, and I was just like, the best actor in this is the aunt who has a small role in this. From Ginger Snaps, I can't think of the actress's name right now, but she was the best thing. And then Joel McHale was just like, oh my god, I felt like Joel McHale was angry just for the sake of being angry. And I know there are parts of the movie where he's supposed to be angry, but even every scene where he's playing happy, he's still just like bitter because he knows this is a terrible movie. He's sunk this low and he's doing this movie.
Like he gritted his teeth throughout the entire production.
Yep.
What year was it?
I love you.
Was it supposed to be present day or was it supposed to be something like the 80s? Like
No, it was supposed to be present day because
I mean,
Yeah.
like,
I think
first of all,
think
where
it's
was
one of
Shell
these
Shock?
things-
Picks up a yearbook.
yeah, one of the things they talk about it being like 2022 or 2023.
Where were the cell phones?
Yeah.
You have a whole party,
Yeah.
kids, no cell phones. I thought that was a little weird.
Yeah, good point.
Not once.
Maybe.
You see one
No,
phone,
you're right.
which was it Buck, the weird brother who's talking about being on TikTok and showing his dick?
Yeah.
That was
Oh
the
my
only cell
God.
phone you see in the entire movie, which is a little weird to me when you're focusing on a group of teenagers. And I know
Right.
that's a weird pet peeve, but it just like it really struck me in the first murder scene with the party that not one kid whipped out a cell phone when this was happening. You know? Not one,
Yeah.
one. It was very weird to me. I was like, this is strange. And then the clothing they were wearing the year later when they were doing the commercial, I'm like, what is this shit?
Well, I think it's just because they're in that
And
weird
I'm like,
small
what happened here?
town.
Right.
So
You know, again,
That's sort of Stepford Town sort of.
well, I'm gonna go on the limb and piss off all of our Canadian audience and go because it's Canada.
I mean, admittedly, I don't go to Canada often, but I still feel like
But no, I just felt like it was just like because the whole movie is basically a Canadian cast. In my head, I just like, okay, they're all Canadians because you can see the Aurora Borealis in Canada and all this stuff. So maybe this is one of those Canadian islands where nothing happens and it's such a small
they
town.
still have clothes.
I don't know. I'm gonna get in
East
trouble
Nova
for making
Scotia.
fun of my sister-in-law right now. My bad. I'm sorry, Janet.
It was weird to me. I didn't get it. And also the whole Aurora Borealis thing made no sense to me because it was supposed to be the spirit of the guy she killed a year later.
Yeah, a lot of it made no sense.
And
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
kind of helping her to solve her issues. Like, why would the angry dead spirit do that? I'm
Was
at
it
a
the
loss.
Spirit? I thought it was just like a thing. Like I don't
No,
like
they
the karma,
theorized
like
that
the
it's
karmic.
the vengeful spirit of the guy, Justin Long's character. Who I just like the movie was not interesting enough for me to remember his name.
Yeah,
I
Wellesley.
do like how
Wesley.
she killed him.
Waters, right?
Yeah,
Waters,
something
something
Waters.
Waters. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
the thing is, even I felt like the direction of this movie was not good. And what makes me also very sad is the director of this movie directed Tragedy Girls, which is a great movie. So you have a decent writer, okay, who wrote Freaky, and a really good director, and it's like sophomore effort.
I'm not going to like run out and buy it so I can watch it every year by any means, but it was, of all the things I blew $5 on that week, I'd say that was the most pleasurable. And maybe it was because of the whole like the very thin sci-fi element of an alternate reality, but it kind of reminded me of Happy Death Day. You know, like the pacing was there, and it wasn't funny, but it was fun. You know, I enjoyed watching this. It was a lot of fun.
Happy Death Day, well written, well acted, fun movie. I love both of those movies. Same with Freaky. You watch Freaky and you're like, man, this is really good. And then you watch this and you're like, what happened, sir? You came from Cleveland, Ohio. I was rooting for your Ohio boy written. And it just was like, what happened?
He drove to Youngstown.
And again, I'm the one that enjoyed Blood and Honey. And I still think Blood and Honey.
Fuck.
Not better than this.
No.
Better than Werewolf Santa, yes.
Yeah.
But there are elements of Blood and Honey that the kills were better than this. That's another thing. Like, I felt the kills were either generic or it was just like stab.
No, the only good kill is when Justin Long's character died in the first one. That was the only kind of fun kill.
That was great.
Yes,
it was unique.
And then again, in these slasher movies of the 90s, because that's what this was kind of doing the retro thing to do, I enjoy them because I'm like, is it this person? Is it this person? And in the first 10 minutes, I figured this completely out.
Yeah.
I don't think they were trying to hide it.
But but that's the thing. I talked to other people and they're like, what do you mean you figured it out in the first 10 minutes? I'm like, really? Really? I mean, there's two killers, and one is this person. And I mean, I guess, do we want to spoil it?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
fine. Justin Long's the first killer. Woohoo! He dies in the first 10 minutes of the movie. The second killer, which I had thought, hey, there's going to be another killer, is Joel McHale.
Yeah.
That was all things. So the alternate reality, a lot of that shit made no sense to me. Like, supposedly he became the killer because he got broken when his son got killed, which implies that he was not, in fact, the first killer. He, like in that alternate reality, Justin Long's character killed his son, and then somehow that converted McHale into becoming the killer for Justin Long.
And I felt really bad for like the secondary actress in this, the one that they called the loser or whatever her one. Weirdo. There.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for her because she tried so hard. But
like,
they have her in this,
just showed up at parties she wasn't invited to.
They have her in this weird eye makeup. They did the 90s thing where it's like, here, let's put glasses on somebody or weird makeup and they're ugly. But then, you take all that off and they're the most beautiful stunning thing in the world. Like at the end of this movie when she sees her again. And I'm like, so I'm confused. So she can remember the other alternate paths now?
Yeah.
Because
she was there at the Aurora Borealis when she made the second.
I know, I get that.
Oh.
And
it took me a minute to figure that out.
Now? Are they not a couple? I'm confused.
Well, I also like the whole thing where like there's her boyfriend and her friend that's been like, going behind her back for years. And I appreciate that she's like, oh, you guys love each other. But I'd be like, but why the fuck did you just break up with me? And then
right?
I would have a little angst over that. Like, all right, you found each other, you love each other, that's fine. But you could have just fucking said something.
Right? Too easy.
Yeah, but if you think about it, and maybe I read too much into how the science works in this movie, but theoretically,
there was science?
Oh yeah, there's tons of it.
I was blinded by it.
It happens.
Every time you can see the Aurora Borealis, you could go to the alternate reality and just murder both of them and then come home. I mean, why be angry at anybody? We're like, I'm just
Well,
gonna
maybe you
kill
wouldn't be
you in
able to come
6
home and
I've
murder
weeks.
got
the
a
wrong
gun
people.
in my room, Scott.
Right?
There might be a formula. If you murder the wrong people, you can't come back.
That's what sequels are
right.
for.
I mean, they should have totally murdered the weird brother cop, whatever. I mean, he was obnoxious the whole
Oh
time.
God.
I'm upset
Just
that he did not die
yeah.
in
Exactly.
any reality.
Well, no, though he did die. He died. Remember, because Justin Long did kill him.
Oh, that's right. At the very
Oh
end, with the
yeah.
naughty nice party.
With
Yes.
which they
Yeah.
never really explained the whole why is the townspeople possessed
Yeah, the
Yeah, how-
Jones.
by Justin
What
Long.
power did he wield that was able to turn them all into the automatron drones that they became?
Right,
Mhm.
and why have the smoking man from X-Files in this movie for no
Right?
reason?
Why not? I mean, if you can, do.
Yeah, the only thing I think was the alternate reality party. There was a weird drug that they were going around. Maybe that was it. I don't know. That just seemed like that was supposed to be a plot thing that they kind of did and then dropped.
I think there was a lot of edits of this movie probably cut in room floor that explained certain things, because that was another problem of mine, because I felt like you're telling a story, it's going one way, and then it like drops off,
Hmm.
and then it comes back. Like, I mean, even in the weird alternate reality with the mom thing, I thought this is just dumb. It made
Yeah.
no
Oh yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
It
Well,
just made no sense.
the random homage to Christmas Story with the pink tracksuit. I didn't understand either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming that's what they're doing because that's what it really struck me as. I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
bunny ears on it, and there you go.
Right. A little. Yeah.
And like, let's buy the son a truck, and here's your pink tracksuit. I'd be pissed too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Here's a big
Yeah.
ginormous GNC truck commercial.
Just a lot of
Here's your
weird.
I'm gonna say it
$50,000 truck.
again.
Here's your $12 tracksuit.
I'm gonna
But
say
we
it
love
again.
you.
Last year, Sci-Fi Channel put on one of the most entertaining Christmas horror movies ever. Letters to St. Claus.
Yes, letters to Satan Claus. I can't get it out because I'm
And
laughing.
if you can find it,
Really.
watch it, because it is a Hallmark movie with the added joy of Satan.
Nice.
Well,
I'll have
it's
to
a
track
Hallmark
that
movie
down.
with the
Makes
added
every
joy of
holiday
Satan,
better.
where they're pissing on every Hallmark concept with the main character.
Nice.
So, and it made me just so happy. It's the anti-Hallmark Christmas movie.
But they actually showed it on Hallmark as well, which I thought was
No,
hilarious.
they didn't. I can't.
Yes,
No
they
way.
did.
With a
Yes, they
threesome,
did.
come on.
I mean, Hallmark now has kissy kissy with women in their movies. So
I think you might
Wow.
want to fact check that, John Paul. I'm pretty sure Hallmark Channel did not show letters to Satan Claus.
I will send
The
you
name
link.
alone would have prohibited them from being able to put that on their channel.
Mhm.
So
They're not owned by a Christian company. They're owned by NBC.
it doesn't matter. Their whole like target audience is like uber Christian crazy. And
Not all.
yeah,
Like,
I
if
don't think
if
would
they
put
have those
Satan
movies
Claus on.
of guys who beat up girls,
Google it.
Just
I'm just
saying.
saying, Google it and see was
Only when they deserve
Satan
it.
Claus played on
only
Hallmark.
when it's if I saw Paul Gosselaar beat up a girl in a Hallmark movie,
She
That
had
was
it
probably
coming.
morality lesson.
Oh!
That's a different thing.
is that the title of it?
Morality.
Yeah, they come dinner by 6 or else.
Right. Just won't listen to.
Yeah. Okay, so
I
back
told
to
you
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah. Just
I found it charming and delightful. I had no expectations,
I
and
didn't
came
either,
away
but
with
somehow it's still disappointed.
without feeling my time was wasted.
And
So-
I watched them in the order that they were assigned to us. So again, like
As did I.
you step in dog shit on your way home, you're like, oh, that's terrible. And then like a bird kind of poops on your shoulder. Suddenly it's not so bad. So when I watched that second movie, I'm like, you know what? This wasn't an entire waste of my afternoon. I gleaned some pleasure from this.
See, I watched it in reverse order. I watched Werewolf Santa last.
Oh,
and
Oh.
Maybe
dude.
that was the
Wonderful Life
key.
first.
I don't know. Like, so
I mean,
similar to what you said,
I
Mike.
did the same, but again,
But
I
I
had
felt like after
expectations.
watching something that horrible, I wanted something like Violent Night level of good. And I got
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Knife level of okay.
Right.
I really was expecting Wonderful Knife to be exponentially more violent and bloody, and I kind of that left me wanting.
Yes.
Stab,
Um,
stab, stab.
Yeah,
But
I wanted better
again,
whips. I wanted better kills. You know,
better
wanted
kills
less
would have made this a
Hallmarky
lot better
ending.
for me.
it's like they had the obligatory candy cane through the back of the head, out the mouth. That was okay.
Yeah.
That was
It's
it.
no Anna in the Apocalypse, which I highly recommend as well.
Yes.
That's in my queue. I'm watching that probably tomorrow. So,
Do you like
Honestly,
musicals?
what's that?
Do you like musicals?
I'm not opposed to a good musical or a
Well,
bad
then
musical.
Anna in the Apocalypse is a wonderful musical.
I think the concept is brilliant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I say that
Amen.
now because that's what Hollywood is currently doing, and it kind of upsets me. This is my get on my soapbox part of the show where here's
Rant.
my rant. Hollywood, if you're gonna make a musical and the movie's a musical, tell people it's a musical because hiding it will piss a lot of people off. I.e. Wonka, i.e. the new Mean Girls movie. Both are musicals.
No kidding.
There's my rant.
Wait, Mean Girls is a musical?
There's a new Mean Girls movie.
Yeah, yeah. And Tina Fey like directed it again? Is
Yes,
that so? And that's a musical.
it's a musical. And it was originally going to be in Paramount, but Paramount needed movies to throw in the theater, so they are throwing it in the theater.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'll watch it. The Mean
Yeah.
Girls is one of my favorite movies, but I had no idea it was like a full-blown musical.
Yeah, they took the stage musical that they converted the movie into and made a movie out of it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm down.
That's
I'm
Maybe
okay
that's
with that.
would have improved It's a Wonderful Knife. Maybe if they had made it a musical.
I mean, I would have enjoyed it more
You know,
probably.
Yeah.
I'd
Mhm.
be for it.
Just
I'd be
break
for
out
it
the song.
if they even gave me like some kind of like because that's also what I felt that It's a Wonderful Knife did not have. Like for Christmas horror movies, you at least got to feel like you're kind of in the Christmas mood by like music or there's some kind of warm kind of fire or something.
Right.
This movie did not have really any of that, with the
Yeah.
exception of the weird tree lighting explosion, whatever you want to call it.
And then when she went, and this is the one thing that the one thing I'll mention that struck me as odd of the many things, but she goes to this high school party, this high school Christmas party, and it is like a regular Christmas party. Like they're playing like traditional
Right.
holiday music as she's walking in, and the house is all done up. And it's like, yeah, my parents are away, so I'm having a party. I'm like, yeah, never have I ever attended a Christmas party in high school that was like this sort of Macy's Day Parade sort of thing.
Maybe
I
it's
guess
the
that's
end
it.
of
I
the-
didn't
parties I
feel
remember from high
Christmassy.
school
I
are
didn't.
the crack den parties from the alternate universe that she went to.
The crack den.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's a wonderful crack den.
It's a wonderful pipe.
I
There's
mean,
a concept for a movie. It's
the
wonderful.
Mean One was a
Starring
better
Snoop Dogg.
Christmas feel movie than this.
Sorry, what would I?
The Mean One, the Grinch
I
weird
haven't watched
horror
that yet,
movie.
but
Yeah.
I haven't
yeah,
seen
no,
that.
I don't know.
Seen it.
I wanted this to be so much more, and I don't know why I'm so not like thrilled by it. But like, I mean, to be fair, I'm really not angry by it. I'm not like, oh my God, I wasted time watching this movie. I'm just like, could have been better.
It was a C
That was
minus.
I was really concerned because, oh my God, I'm going to be on this. What the fuck did I just watch? What am I going to have to watch? And so I was like, oh shit. Okay, here we go. All right, I got my free trial on AMC Plus. Here we go. What am I doing? And I was not upset by this. It wasn't. I found it lacking, but again, not an hour and a half wasted. I was pleasantly surprised and really just kind of enjoyed it, even though it was not the perfect viewing experience.
So
yes, it could be much better.
My first experience being a co-host on this show, I had to watch like 120 hours of TV to get in front of the camera.
So you're saying we should give Tom some?
Yeah, like everybody else is like, well, what was it? Jim Henson's Storyteller was one of the early episodes, and The Dark Crystal, maybe was that one of them?
No.
And so anyway, so I get assigned like 2 entire series to watch.
Lex.
Yeah, they're like, all right, we'll see you Thursday. You know, and you better be fucking funny, or that's it.
Well, I mean, we had a guest who once coined a wonderful phrase and a wonderful things that we can do here. It's called "You got served."
I guess this is my accidental vengeance for Thanksgiving.
You got served.
But honestly, I really wanted Werewolf Santa to be good. So
Yeah,
you know,
I did too. I really was like all for. Oh yeah, this is gonna suck so good, and I could not find. Like I'm trying to think of to riff on it. I'm like, what can we? Let's play with this. Let's give me something.
there's
It-
nothing.
Nothing.
No,
nothing.
it was the bones of those reindeers.
yeah, the bones of the reindeer, man. It's like picking on the slow kid in the neighborhood. You know, like I got my aggression out, but it just doesn't feel good. You know,
I feel
like
bad about myself.
Yeah, there was nothing here to beat on. It's just
or beat off.
It's just a shame. Again, Orgy Massacre. Nothing there.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Again, there was nothing there. There was nothing there.
So many missed moments.
So many missed moments.
Right.
Even the whole, was that a penis? I mean, it was like, really? I don't know. It kind of looked like a piece of bacon. So maybe.
Yeah, it was Canada.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Made a little love ham or something in the.
Is that what they call it up north?
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, you guys got anything else? Because I mean, these are my final thoughts right now.
So there was the point that It's a Wonderful Knife was supposed to have a lot of it was an homage to Scream.
Yeah.
Which I didn't catch until I read some trivia. But there was Gail Prescott that was supposed to be a combination of Sidney Prescott and Gail Winters. That was Aunt Gail. And then the outfit that the Killer Angel wore was supposed to be a callback to the original outfit that Ghostface was supposed to be wearing. He was supposed to be all white. So yeah, and you kind of did get a little bit of a Scream feel from it, but
again, I think that was
the whole Christmas Story pink tracksuit kind of took over the theme.
Yeah,
fixated on that. Damn it! Should have ears.
And again, it should be one of the movies that I would love because it ticks everything that I enjoy when it comes to like nostalgia of 90s horror. And it just felt just so lackluster. And I don't know, maybe my expectations.
I'm not gonna lie, it might be his fault.
It might be just the fact that, like my friend Randy says, I just want to hate what people love and love what people hate. I'll defend the Marvels every day.
I like it.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, my final thoughts on both of these movies were just kind of letdowns. Werewolf Santa, because the cover looks so good. Because I've seen all the really crappy straight to DVD Krampus movies, Krampus versus Santa Claus, Krampus versus the Were Krampus. I mean, all these like really terrible. They at least have something to riff and something. This was just like, It's a Wonderful Knife. Like I said, it just there wasn't enough there that was joyful to like really enjoy. I mean. C- D plus maybe. I mean, I even convinced my wife to like go, hey, you want to watch this? It's a horror comedy. You like horror comedies, and she was always like, I didn't. It was all right. No, I didn't like it. I'm like, okay. It's like one of those things where like I wanted more. I really did, and I'm sure people will be like, what are you talking about? This, and this, and I'm like. Okay, I mean, I guess because we live in a world right now where we really want like fun horror, we're just gonna go after anything. And it's like even Thanksgiving, the Eli Roth movie was better than this. And I'm not a huge fan of Eli Roth as a person, but he did make a better movie. Those are my final thoughts.
Mike, you got
Mike?
something? Or Tom?
Yeah, just save your money. Don't rent these at all. Again, it's a Wonderful Knife was better than Werewolf Santa, but there's still not a lot there. Not worth it. Get loaded with your friends, pile up 5 or 6 Christmas horror movies, and stick these in the middle. Like after you've been eating for a while and you're out of Oreos and you eat the Hydrox, maybe by that point you just won't care as much. And then you can stomach these, but they're not great by any means. Werewolf Santa was terrible, and I think I'm angry that such a great title was taken for such a shitty movie. That's my takeaway. Tom, you got something to add there?
Real quick, John Paul, you mentioned Were Krampus. We need to talk afterwards. I'm totally, I love a good Krampus, so all right. To the point at hand, Werewolf Santa had no redeeming qualities, and I find that really disappointing. It should, by all accounts, be fantastic, and it just wasn't. Fantastically bad in all the good ways, and this was bad in all the bad ways. At least with a good bad movie, you can riff on it, you can make fun of it. There's some level of enjoyment you can eke out of it somehow. This had no redeeming qualities whatsoever, even to make fun of. It's a Wonderful Knife. Yeah, great title. It deserved better. So I'm with you on there, Mike. I was not mad at this movie. It was not a waste of time. Not going to be my go-to seasonal favorite, but it was kind of charming and fun. I get it. I like not upset by It's a Wonderful Knife. So yeah, it goes in the middle of your Christmas horror debauchery party.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't really have anything more to add. I again can only say how bad Werewolf Santa is so many times. But I'll just reiterate: don't pay money for it. Don't.
Free.
I know you're curious, and now you're like, no, it really can't be. Do not spend your money on this movie.
Get a library card. They're free.
Yes.
Library card. Library card is optimal because you don't. And then you can watch it and be like, oh, thank God they told us not to pay money on this. Because you'll be mad otherwise. It's a Wonderful Knife. Again, whatever. I wanted more. There's obviously worse things I've seen in my life. It was entertaining. It just wasn't as entertaining as I'd like it to have been. They need some better kills. They need some better something in there. They need to figure out what the fuck Justin Long was thinking when he portrayed that part, because it was just a wreck. That's watch Violet Night instead. I don't know. Christmas Horror Story. Were Krampus sounds like it might be a good alternative.
There's always next year, right?
Yeah.
With that, thanks for watching and have a happy holidays.
Yeah. Well, thank you for this exciting crossover, guys.
You have been listening to
What the Fuck Did I Just Watch? You can find us on Facebook and on YouTube at WTF Did I Just Watch? Thanks for listening, and we hope you'll join us again soon.